Can you guys hear me now? Hey everyone, waiting for you to get in the room. Hey everybody. Hi everyone. Okay, good. Okay, you guys, we're going to talk about tonight's show. We're going to talk about that magazine cover. What else? We're going to talk about Mel's business, and I have a link for you guys if you want to join in on this live and, have some things to say, because people have things to say about Martell and the business. But I just saw a clip. Hey, everyone, letting you come in. We got 50 people on. Go ahead and hit the like button as you enter, please. Hit the like button. Also hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. Come on in. I have my moderator here. Thank you, MN. I appreciate you. We got 63 people on. 26, 29 likes now. Thank you so much. I need something. Okay. I need to bring my computer up high so that I can pay attention to you guys. And it doesn't look like I'm looking down all the time. Hi, Chris. Hey, Kathy. Okay. Sorry, Tanga. DyanaRozay made a mistake. Blame it on old age. Hi, everyone. Okay. 41 likes. We got 71 watching. So, you guys, I wanted to talk to you about a clip that I just saw for tonight's show. And I don't know if you guys saw it, but I'm going to play a little bit for you. So Tamara, the way changes are made is you have to let them be made. Otherwise, the show goes off the air. So if Mel has already shared with us that talks are happening, we have to give them an opportunity to make the changes. But the show that we are watching now was already filmed, I think May through July. I think July was the last day of filming. So what's playing out now happened previously, but they are aware that we are asking for changes. So now we have to let them make the changes, and that won't happen until next season. They're not going to go back in and film anything. But if you guys are not watching, then you don't watch. That would be how you handle it. So Gwendolyn, did you see the clip? Okay, so I'm going to play this clip for you guys. We got 90 on, 50 likes. Go ahead and hit the like button. And I do have a moderator in here, so people will be blocked, just an FYI, if there's any shenanigans for this go round. MN is doing her thing. Okay, so let me play this clip for you guys. This is something that they are promoting for tonight's show. So let me pull it up. And you guys can let me know what you guys are thinking while you're going through it. But they have a clip of Martell, and sounds like he is doing some wishful thinking, believe it or not. So again, this was between May and July that they filmed this clip. And I just thought it was super interesting that he would even allow himself to go there. But it looks like they had asked him some questions about, basically keeping the kids' hopes up. Are you getting kids' hopes up by, let me go to the page. I think it was keeping it real on. If he was keeping the kids' hopes up by him and Mel going on vacation. So I think tonight we get the vacation with him and Melody. So here we go. Vacation with him and Melody. So here we vacation.
Allow it to take place, you know? To be real, we don't know if allow it to take place, you know? I would love for my kids to be hopeful because at the end of the day, Melly or myself, we don't know where God will lead us in the future. You know? We can only hope for the best and whatever where God will lead us.
So I don't know if you guys could hear that or if it gave you a lot of feedback. Let me know if you guys heard it. I apologize if it gave you feedback. I was trying to play it from my computer. So let's see. Now we know why he started acting the way he did. Right. So basically he said he doesn't know what the future is going to hold. He said, I don't know what the future will hold. And I'm hoping they called moderator, and then they called the moderator flunky. Okay, whoever that was, you can go on ahead and let them go, moderator, just because. Let me see if I can find them. But let's talk about Martell saying that he thinks the future, it's possible him and Mel could get back together. He said that he didn't know. So I wanted to know what you guys thought about that, being that they have been divorced. This is their second year now, almost 2 years. And one of the things that people say, including the lady who did the magazine yesterday, or Upscale Magazine, she said, I'm tired of people, getting all upset about something that happened, in season 2. Like everybody has moved on. Yet they want to say that Melody is holding on to something, but it always sounds like Martell is doing the same exact thing. So I wanted to know what you guys thought of that. Hit me in those comments. Tyra says that he is delusional. Tasha Rain said, kick rocks. What else do you guys have? It shows Mel and that he has high hopes. Is that what you said? Okay. Well, she'll find it. Martell is dreaming. I found him. No worries. He's gone. Okay, go ahead. Keep chit-chatting. Let me know what y'all think. Definitely dreaming, and it's impossible. The problem isn't the kids having high hopes, it's him. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. I was thinking, I don't know if the kids are thinking one way or the other. If you tell the kids that you guys are separated, they'll believe that, unless you do something different to say otherwise, right? Hi, Pacino, how are you? Yes, he wanted Mel and he had high hopes. I agree. I think it's his high hopes that are up. And this is being filmed while he's dating Sheree, right? So it's an odd thing for someone to say. If the producers are asking that question, wouldn't you say, well, as parents, we just want them to be happy, but not we want them to be happy, so we're thinking about getting back together. He is a charmer, and that's not a compliment. Good vibes only. Yes, thank you, MN. Kathy says, oh, sorry about that. Talking to Christian. So that was interesting to me. Interesting, guys, considering right after they finished filming, that was when the big thing happened with him and Mel on the internet. And now it's all making sense that it's coming together, right? And then all of a sudden we get pictures of him and Sheree. So Slick says, if Martell has moved on, then why does he continue to talk about Mel and his past marriage? And why does he keep talking about her like it's something that can happen in the future? That is what, the third or fourth time he said that on camera? Right after they divorced, he said that on camera. We don't know. We could still get back together. He said that a couple of times. For him to say it again on camera is odd. Let's see. Hi there. Chris says, like the kids knew about the other woman, more realistic than their father. It looks like it, right? London Life said that's why he's cursing her out and wearing a red hat. He knew it would come out. Yeah, I agree. I think that all of this is him knowing that it would come out. We're going to see this on the show, and it looks like it's not going to get better from here. That's why I was thinking, Martell's an interesting guy. And even now, I know some people are saying they got a hold of the article. What I saw on line was really blurry, and you could barely read it. So you could take out some words, but I wasn't able to put it all together. So I have to wait to see a clean copy of the article. Gwendolyn said that Martell still wants Mel. He is trying to make Mel jealous with Sheree. Um, we'll see. Is it working? Is it working? All right, 136 of you guys watching, go ahead, hit that like button and the subscribe button. 10 years from now, he will still be saying the same thing. And it has to be really hard, honestly, to watch her, to watch Mel continue on. Like I even told Mel when I interviewed her, one of the things that I love is most people, when they go through that type of public embarrassment, all of that stuff, they will shut down, for months, for years, who knows. But she used her pain for gain. Okay, she knew I have a certain time to strike, and she continued on. That is admirable, because everybody wants you to break when something bad happens to you. And understandably, things could have happened that way, but people want you to break, and she did not break. But we are watching him break. Let's see. He's trying to save face. There should be on upscale. You think so? Magazines do stuff like that all the time. Magazines and newspapers, actually. Wambui, I apologize if I'm not saying your name right. It is Wambui. I saw her live and she is so happy. It warms my heart. I agree. She really is genuinely, in my opinion, happy. I feel like she has moved on. I'm anxious to see tonight what happens when they are at the house, how they interact. Um, it looked like they were doing family things. They're taking a boat ride. The kids are around. Sugar Mama finally gets to be with all of them as a group for their first vacation. So that is interesting. Sexy Can 215 says, I'm back. Mel was getting her dance on, living her best life and having Thanksgiving early. Facts. Tanga said that Melody is his attachment to his false image, possibly being seen as real. Interesting. Melody Washington said, I never ever shut down, was married for 14 long years. My home is paid off, walking into my destiny. You keep going. Amen, Melody. Hey, Soul Star. Thank you guys for coming in. Densei, is that pronounced right? Gartel said the nerve. The nerve of who? Martell? But you guys, we all saw this coming. Hi, Ebony. How are you? We all saw this coming. I mean, I figured something happened on the show where he kind of, was going to weasel his way back in. But we got to see. We got to see how they cut this, how they edited this. I did say your name right. Thank you so much. I'm glad I said that right. Let's see. Different perspectives. The ops are no longer loud. That's true. They're not. So I would like to bring some of you on, if you are interested in coming on, to talk about the magazine article, actually, because that was a lot. You guys had a lot to say. There was someone who was on, you're not reading the article because you refuse to let that magazine profit off of those lies. Y'all, it's interesting. People have their own, perception of the truth. Everyone has their own perception of the truth. We got to hear three sides. All of us who watched the show got to hear three sides. And Martell forgets that there was another voice who chimed in and brought that story all together. Because I did see the part, I forgot whose channel I watched it on, but she said that he said something about her getting pregnant when Melody and him had split. That's what she said. So we know that Sugar Mama was born first. And I'm not sure how many weeks apart those kids are, or months apart those kids are. I don't think he's ever said a birth date. And it took him a long time to even say out loud, like, this is my son, this is his name, all of those things. So it took him a minute to get there. Um, let's see. The PR person said that the editor changed the article name. It was supposed to be resilient, but it was changed. Yes, Miss Faith, I did. Yeah, I brought you guys that story yesterday to let you know that Martell said, according to the PR person, I believe her name is Janelle Witt, she said that Martell did not want it called Survivor and he did not want it called Resilient. I guess he just wanted to share his story, his side of the story, and we haven't had that, um, you know, and I wanted to see how true it was going to sound. Hi, Pamela. And I shouldn't even say true. Like I said, everybody has their perception. We've heard 3 stories, and when you tie all those stories around, there's 2 that has more of the truth in it. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, on Tasha K's channel, um, old girl said that when she got pregnant the last time, she was asked by Martell, and she said, no, I'm not doing that again for y'all. Y'all remember that. So she put both of them in it. He was making the request, but it was almost like, at that point, it was like, you knew you did something you weren't supposed to. You were still in this marriage. And she said, no. That's what I took from the story. Melody said she didn't know at all until, she had left the marriage, and then she found out. And that's when she was basically like, I'm not going to let people think that I left this marriage because of this. I left this marriage well before this happened, but I left because my intuition told me you didn't stop. And I was true, and it was right. So yes. So let me put the link here, and let's see if I can bring you guys on. So if you guys can tap into that, I'll see. This is my first time doing this, so hopefully it works. Melody was just on live, Diana. She's free and she's not interested in going through that hell again. Oh, child, I hear you. I don't think she's interested in it either. But again, we have people, there's 2 sides. Like, there's people who are like very adamant that it's Melody who's reliving the past. But, from where we sit, a lot of us sit, we think that Melody has moved on. Yes, she understands that Martell is still the father of her children and that they're always going to have that connection. But I also think that she's moved on. But I do think there's a person who's not shared in the same way Melody has shared. He's not been honest like Melody has been honest. And that's what I'm looking to see, because it will help him get over things if he's just honest about it. Pacino said clearly a rehab campaign has started, so we will see what the next move will be. I agree. Did you see Destiny acting like a groupie with Sheree, liking all of her IG posts? I have seen, and that's another thing that I wanted to point out. Ooh, we have a guest. Another thing I wanted to point out is, again, all of us are thinking, how is Destiny handling Martell, in our opinion, not getting over Melody? We've asked that question, I think, since the Madani fight. Like, is anyone paying attention to Destiny and how, upset and aggravated she gets when Martell is around Melody? But now she's rah, rah, rah for Sheree, right? It doesn't mean anything if that's not where his heart is, right? So I'm gonna see if I can add a guest to our live. We have Tasha. Let's see.
Hello.
Hi, Tasha.
Hi, Diana. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. So I want your opinion because my comment section blew up yesterday on that video. People were upset, but then I heard this clip today that we're going to get in tonight's episode of Martell basically saying it's okay to give the kids hope because you never know what the future holds. Me and Melody could get back together, and I was like, what in the world is happening here? So, what are your
That's
thoughts on
his
all of
hope.
this?
That's his hope.
Huh?
I say that's his hope.
That is his hope. But yeah, like what else do you think? Like, outside of his whole, what about this whole thing with Sheree? What about this whole thing? You know, we know what happened over the summer. That was August, right? So filming wrapped up in July, like literally not even a month later. Martell went on a warpath against Melody on social media, even including his daughter putting out that audio. It was wild. It was
That's why I
wild.
couldn't believe. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's why I could believe this magazine printed the lies that they printed. I'm like, did they do their research? Because it wasn't that long ago that this man, I mean, he did some outrageous things to
Yeah,
that woman online.
he did.
And then to put his child on a recording on the internet for the world, to witness, that was just bad all the way around.
It was. I agree.
And with Destiny, I think Destiny is clinging to anybody she believes that could help her. So I think that's what the charade thing is about.
Okay.
Just like Martell. Martell is hanging on to Cherie because she's giving him exposure.
Okay.
And I think Destiny is doing the same.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that it's shocking because you would want a magazine to do their research, like you said. I'm going to put the let's see if I can pin it. If you guys want to come in, the link is pinned, so you guys can come in. But I agree with you. I think that the magazine dropped the ball. That's why I was like, you guys were very tone deaf in how you put this title up, but everything else, Lord have mercy.
For some reason, I feel like Sheree had something to do with that connection with that magazine.
Yeah, I believe
Because
Jonelle is in Atlanta. You know, Sheree's in Atlanta. So if you go to her page, there are a lot, like everybody on Married to Medicine, a lot of people that are in reality TV are connected to her.
yeah. And the young lady, I think she was trying to clear herself, but at the same time, I just think she was just doing damage control. It's like she realized when they got all the backlash that they got, it was her, she's trying to put it off on someone else.
Yeah.
But I honestly feel like she knows Martell, she knows Sheree, and she knows what she said wasn't true. But now that the backlash is happening, she's trying to wiggle her way out of it and put it on someone else, the editor.
Okay. So I got two more people that I'm going to invite in, you guys. Let's see. I have Simply Beautiful.
Hi.
Hi, Simply Beautiful. And then I have Esla.
Hello.
Hi. So welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for joining the live.
You're welcome.
No problem.
So I want your opinions too. Hit me. What's going on?
I think it's inevitable that children will always hope that their parents get back together. But in this case, it seems like this is more of Martell's hope. The way he keeps going around telling everybody that she invited him to Destin. Like, this is my way of getting back in good with Mel. I don't think it's going to work. I mean, he keeps saying, well, God might lead us back together. God is the one that told her to go. So, I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding.
And you know what? That was one of the things that he said in the August rant. He kept saying stuff like that. He was like, if you guys knew who Melody was, what she's about, you would go. You would go. God didn't tell her to go. God told everyone around her to go. That was his quote. So isn't that interesting that he's trying to like throw all that stuff back at her?
Yep.
He's very jealous of Mel, and it's just incredible that magazine placed him on the cover. And what's so crazy is I used to read Upscale magazine. It was always a precursor, or a start to Ebony. In the way that I viewed it in the past, they would tell stories about up and coming African Americans and business and entertainment and everything else. But there is absolutely no way anybody who has even watched that season or did any kind of research would have allowed him to be on the cover of that magazine. For one, Black women oftentimes purchase magazines. There's no Black males necessarily purchasing upscale magazine simply for the content that's in it. So why would you alienate a whole segment of your purchasing audience just simply to place him on there? I feel as though they either paid for that story or it was a favor done on behalf of Sheree or his new PR person. There is absolutely no way that any reputable journalist would have put their job on the line, to me, it seems, to place him on the cover. And as for the kids, you know, sometimes people say he's a good father, and I absolutely 100% disagree. A good father would never place their kids in that position, wouldn't place the mother of their children in that position. I don't think spending time you know, doing little cutesy stuff and putting it online qualifies as being a good father. A good father is a protector. A good father is a provider. A good father would lay down their life for that of their family, even if the family has disintegrated. So I don't know. I just sometimes Martell's just I just can't sometimes have to turn it off and not watch because it's too much. It is literally too much.
I say all the time. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Simply Beautiful.
I just want to piggyback off of what she said, because in that article, because I know another YouTuber actually was able to read some of the article.
Okay.
And he said something to the point of keeping the kids out of the parents' business and allowing them to be kids. Well, if that was the case, then that recording of Mariah would have never got on the internet. You would have never recorded your daughter saying that stuff. You didn't keep her at a grown-up business. You put her right in the middle of it and then exposed it to the world.
And it's not the first time. He did it again with the brother, making the kids say certain things about the brother. And I thought that was disturbing as well. And
does anybody know about the court case or what happened with the court case? Or has anybody said anything?
I know Mel said on Facebook that she wasn't talking about the court case right now.
Okay.
Because she did like a Q&A in one of the Facebook groups, and somebody asked her, and she said, "I'm not talking about it right now."
She's not talking about it. Okay. But I agree with everything that all of you said. Actually, I said that in one of my other videos. I said, you know, it's possible to pay for a cover. People do that. Magazines are, you know, a dying business. And a lot of it has gone to online. So I have not actually purchased a magazine in a store in a while. I usually read online. But I do agree 100% that whoever wrote the story was completely tone deaf. And there is a way to write, you know, you don't want to get into every nitpick of the business. But if someone's going to be serious about resetting Martell, you want to ask him questions that pertain to what everyone has seen, because that's where you have to start. This is what we actually know. You can't go backwards or you can't unsee it. You have to start where we are, where you are. Those were things that you put out there. You put that information out there about your children. You put that information out there about their mother. And then it's such a back and forth. You see all of that craziness, and then all of a sudden you're on the TV show and someone asks you a question that you could simply say, you know, right now, this is how we choose to do it and end it. No, you got to say it's okay to give them hope. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what the future is going to hold.
Yeah.
That's the wrong thing to say. Wrong.
You know, there was another magazine CEO in those comments, and he said that he would have never. Yes, he's out of Texas. He's the CEO of another magazine, and he was in the comments, and he said he would have never done that.
What?
Yes.
Because they truly dropped the ball. His publicist truly dropped the ball to sit up there and limit it to, well, you guys are stuck in season 2.
Right.
The man is literally still harassing his ex-wife online. We all know that that baby was born in the mix of that marriage. Just because the pregnancy continued on once Melody decided to leave does not negate that he got that girl pregnant in the mix of that marriage. To sit up there and say in that
Not just in the
interview,
mix, but while his wife was, pregnant and delivering, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Talk about the disrespect.
A
and then,
What
smart.
about the video he just put out too about the strong woman? He's still harassing her.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another
It,
thing is he said he waited until the baby was 4 to 5 months years old to introduce them to the Eminem kids. Well, we all watched the reunion that was filmed in October of 2001, and the kids had yet to meet their little brother. So again, you're lying.
yeah.
And they had
Mar- I,
already knew. They already knew. They already knew.
I think Martell and this is how I know he operates from spite and anger and a little bit of craziness. If
Mhm.
he was smart, and if I was his PR person, and mind you, I'm not in PR, I'm in education, but we would first start off by rehearsing answers to questions. Like everybody knows, the story. And the interesting, I think one of the most interesting things about the show is that even though it's taped, it's this whole online kind of mini series going on behind it. So you kind of have to factor in that, okay, yes, we're watching this reality TV show, but the reality online with, commentators and postings and everything happening every day kind of also leads the story and carries the story. So if I was his PR person, we would start off first off, if we're going to do interviews, let's rehearse what we're going to say. I don't necessarily have to lie, but I also don't have to, but I need to have some truth in it. And I can say a lot and answer questions without divulging or, crucifying me or crucifying Mel. And, to me, that's the way to go. I would also have him to just simply apologize, I mean, in a heartfelt apology.
But
But
you know
he's still,
what?
hmm
You know what? The problem with Martell apologizing is he doesn't mean it.
he
And
doesn't
what we
mean it.
saw
Yeah.
this season 4A and 4B, is that people were saying things, and then literally 2 episodes after, they're saying something completely different, which is more on par with what we've seen season 1 through 3. And it's like,
Yeah.
if you guys could just say what's on your heart or what you truly believe. If he's not ready yet, he's not ready yet. I would rather him say, I'm still processing. I'm not ready. There's some
Mm-hmm.
things I know I've done wrong, but I'm angry. I am angry that I lost everything. I'm angry that's more honest, and I
I
need
would,
in it. I'm
yeah,
angry that I only see my kids, once a week, every other week or what. Say that, but don't say it's Mel's fault, and don't apologize on Monday and turn it all up
around.
on Tuesday. It's not
Yes.
true.
Yes, I totally agree. I would even respect that if he said, I still need time. This was damaging to me. This was hurtful to me. I'm trying to figure out my way in this. But all of this lying and, then he's like radio silent, which makes it even worse. He'll never change this. I don't care if you get with the Queen of England, you're not going to change the perspective of how most people see you until you be honest and own up to what you've done. You
Correct.
know.
Correct.
hmm
And
Hi.
that's why I say he dropped the ball this interview, because this was the time for him to be completely honest. Just
Yeah.
be honest. And maybe people would say, okay, maybe we can, you know, give him a little grace. But like you said, he apologized Monday, and then he's calling her a dark-hearted, cold-souled woman the next on Tuesday.
Facts. That is so true. Hey, Miss Hannah.
Hello, Diana. How y'all doing today?
Hey,
Hi.
Hannah.
Hello, how's it going?
Going
Doing
great.
good.
Good. Thank you for letting me jump in. And I agree with what you all are saying. And I certainly agree with, is it Elsa who said
Yes.
that he would apologize? The problem is what Diana said. He does apologize, but what I see is that he's always in a cycle of trying to manipulate someone. And Melody found out exactly how he was and cut him off. He was no longer able to manipulate her. Now he has tried several more times, like when he went on to that panel with Shay Ministry, and when he any little move that he's trying to be nice to Mel, then he wants something. And if we remember, right before he started again with putting her information out and putting those tapes out about his daughter and Melody on that date, what happened was he had just tried to launch his, I believe I'm correct about that. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. He had just tried to launch his Inez wine. He was getting ready to put it on for sale, but he was having a whole lot of problems because people began to say, well, the shipping costs were more than, and then it's almost like it was more than the actual wine. So it was a whole lot of problems that he was having with it. And then Melody came out with an interview that she did where she said that they were in this custody battle. That's when he got upset, because now everybody know this man is trying to get full custody of his children and over here trying to launch a wine. Nobody is going to buy this wine now. So he's getting upset with her because once again, he's failing in these endeavors. That is when he went off the deep end and started putting all this information out. Every time he loses, he blames Mel. And it's not her fault, because women see you for who you are. You're not going to manipulate women into buying your products because we see what you did to your children and your family. I'm not going to buy it. I'm just saying for me. And I see a whole lot of other people do the same thing. They're not supporting him. So he gets upset. Now he's over there with Sheree. And then in the meantime, he got his baby mama over here acting a fool. So then she has begun to put him on, put his business out in the street. So everybody know exactly who he is. So he go over here and try to manipulate these other people who don't know who he is. And then they put him on the cover of their magazine. And I think that was a great mistake.
Yeah, I agree. Hey there, Faith, Love, and Dreams.
Hey, everyone.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
So I think that a lot of people on the show are not. Mel has laid the foundation for a lot of them, but none of them are looking at what she's done and moving how she's moved. Essentially, she's only responded to things that they have put out there. She didn't use her platform to bash anyone. And one of the things that she said in multiple interviews with a lot of you bloggers, I love you, Dyana. You're like one of my favorite bloggers on this show. Is that she has done the work. She's just done the work. She's gotten to a place where she hasn't forgotten. I think that she still has feelings of hurt and neglect and deceit, but she's not staying there. And so in order for her to focus, I remember a long time ago, she was saying that she has a brand to protect. And what a lot of the other people didn't do was, I hate to go back to this, but one of the issues with Destiny, why the business lady pulled out of that deal, was that lady knew what Melody did for her. So if I'm friends with Melody, and I'm going to go into business with one of Melody's friends, and then all of a sudden I see her friend, who's supposed to be her friend, acting up on social media, I'm going to step back and say, well, would she do me that if I know that Melody helped her? So what a lot of people didn't do, instead of the Scott 1.0 and 2.0 and Destiny getting on their platforms and playing nice and using it for their brands, they used it to bash Mel. So Mel has been authentic throughout the situation, and that's what the viewers want. We still want authenticity. I don't want to look at the show if you're not going to say, I barely know if Destiny's name is really Destiny at this point, because what is it that she tells us that She doesn't say anything unless it has to do with Mel. And I'm with Mel. If you're not gonna earn your paycheck, then get off the show.
Then get off the
There's a
show.
lot of people in Huntsville that I'm pretty sure are Black business owners that can get on there and show their real lives, their real businesses, and things that's going on. And I just look at it like that. Now, with the one of the things with the magazine that Martell did, I feel like once you found out that they were going to name it what they were going to name it, you could have said, no, I'm pulling out. Y'all know, they know what they were doing. I think they're just covering up. They know exactly what they were doing. And this just me, I'm going back to Color Purple days. Ain't nothing going to go right for you until you are authentic and do right by the people that you harm. Because we may see his actions, but God knows his heart. And his heart is still ugly towards the whole situation. And that's why everything he's doing is failing. And I am not supporting him.
Listen, I say it every time. Every time it's like, you know, this season really could have set him up to be in a better place just with all of the things he has going on. But to have seen it go so left so quickly, it's like, oh my gosh, what in the world? And the way it happened and how he kept coming for her, and then to watch the rest of the cast laugh.
It was disgusting.
Think it was funny, and you know, join in. Well, you guys don't. There's nothing that you can say. Absolutely nothing. If there was anything that you could have said, you would have said it already.
That's right. That's right.
You would have
said
it.
Protect her. I felt like even if they were divorced, there still was a level of protection because that still was the mother of his kids that he did not do. It was more so, all y'all jump on her and tear her down. You know, he didn't, as a man, knowing that I have 4 kids, and what he did with putting his daughter's that voice recording out was disgusting because it shows that in true narcissist form, and I know the word is overused a lot, but it doesn't matter who they use because it's always all about them. And he proved that because that's something that's going to be in internet land for forever. And his daughter, as she gets older, it's something that she's going to be able to discover and why it was said and how it was used forever. And that's just wrong.
Right. Are you guys seeing me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I have Denny on. Hey, Denny.
Hi, Diana. How are you?
Good. How's it going?
Yes, I'm going well. But how are you?
Awesome. Awesome. How can you contribute? What do you got to say? What's happening?
I want to just say, first of all, I think that all of you ladies are definitely on point with everything that has been said. This is an awesome discussion. Diana, you're always bringing us valuable information. So thank you for just being who you are, first of all.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what was being said um, about apologizing, Martell apologizing, and what was just stated about narcissist, because a person who has a narcissistic personality disorder is someone who feels entitled. They feel that, or I wouldn't even say feel, because that's not even a good term for them. They think, because they think that they are entitled to do what it is that they have done to you, and that they are the type of people who believe that you should be grateful that you are even that they are even with you. So I saw something not too long ago in a previous episode where Martell was saying something about he did what he did because it made him feel good. He knew that he could do it. He was picking up, I think, coleslaw in Lamborghini or whatever he was saying. But it's just, I could see all types of the signs pointing towards a narcissistic personality disorder. And had Mel stayed with him, that behavior would have continued, because that would have been to him a sign that, okay, she's not going anywhere. And no matter what I do, she's going to stay and put up with it. So I think that Mel even said in that episode in the confessional that Martell sounded like a narcissist. So it seems like she became even aware and alerted to some of the behaviors of people with this type of personality disorder. So the thing with Sheree, um, when you have this type of disorder, you look for people who can do something for you to benefit you. You look for people who, I mean, even if you are doing something that appears to be nice and kind to those in public, is always with the intent to benefit you.
Yeah.
So the magazine, if this is something that Sheree helped to put together for him, then it falls a line if along the lines of him being with her for his image. He seems to be trying to soften his image to women. Even when he did the party for the Inez wine, it was a party that included him inviting women as guests. So
Well,
it's
you're 100% right. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but let's think about the women he's had that we know about, right? There's Melody and then there's AC. Now, since he broke up with Melody, he definitely has to up his game with a woman. So,
yes, and I think that he sees Sheree as someone who can help him improve that image to women. So she has, in my opinion, her agenda. This thing with her ex who prison bay, as people call him, that ended. So now she needs a storyline to go into next season since the Shine by Sheree was a flop. So now this storyline with Martell piques interest. I'm just saying I'm really interested to see what happened with him in Kenya in next season of RHOA, because that to me may just put him back into that limelight of attacking women and being verbally abusive to women, because I want to see how he interacted with her, because we all know Kenya can really kind of light the fire, right? uh so this image that he's trying so hard to um get people to think that he's changed. Even Sheree at the reunion was saying, well, the Martell that you see on TV is not the Martell that I know. So it's like they are feeding each other. And this is like what her role is now, is to try to help soften his image and make it seem like he was like that with Mel, but with her, he's not that guy.
he wasn't that guy to AC either until the very end. She used to always say he's not like that. He knows who to try that with. He would never do that to me. She said that a few times. So,
Yeah, and I think, yeah, he knows who to do that with, because I think he knows that AC does. Mel has something, she has an image to portray, and her kids and what have you. AC seems to be the type that just would get online and air him out. So he's a bit more precautious with her, because he knows that I think she has some skeletons that she can bring out of the closet, and he knows that she has something in her bag that he doesn't want released.
100%. The one thing
If
that
you remember, Mel asked that question, why is it that he has all the smoke for her, but not for
yeah,
the other one?
Perfect. Yeah.
just gonna say that she definitely said, guys, why does he have all the smoke for me and nothing for her? And she has told a lot of his business, all of it, in
Yeah.
fact. And he's never once came out and said that's a lie. Not
She
one.
also she also said, remember after the first thing with Sheree came out, AC got on her live and she said that he told her, listen, just calm down. This is really just about, it's not real. It's just about publicity. He did tell her that. So when Denny was saying that he's looking for someone that can do something for him, he's still, AC is still there, but he's telling her, listen, if you don't play this role right, we both not gonna have anything. Because she started having smoke for Sheree for a little bit, but then she calmed down, and you haven't really heard from her as much. I think he's kind of like convinced her or brainwashed her into thinking this is really not real, which I don't think is real with Sheree either, but it's not really real. I need to do this. And if you want our child to have, I just don't understand how he's not even paying child support on nobody. I'm just like, he willy nilly around here getting away, just regular. And one of the other things I noticed, I don't know if anyone else noticed, he only has his little son when he has all of the other kids. And I personally don't like that, because, not saying that they shouldn't bond, but I think that he has it that way so the oldest one can watch the little kids as well. And I'm like, maybe they just want to be with
Come
their
on, Faith.
dad themselves.
Yeah, he has to have one-on-one time with those kids, especially the youngest two, because they don't know him the way the older kids know him.
Right.
So I do find that odd too. And you're right about that too. You know, she was supposed to have a drop yesterday, AC. She actually had posted something like sort of scale the day the magazine dropped. She posted her little cute picture of her and their son. And Mel did her post yesterday, which totally knocked anything off the posted her new lifestyle. And I was like, "Ooh, child, this is interesting. Interesting." But yes, thank you,
But
guys.
yeah, I just want to say he does keep Curry in a cycle of just total chaos as well. I don't. He may. I'm sorry, I hear some crack. He may be keeping her, like Faith said, trying to
Hold on one
let her
second.
think. Okay.
I don't know whose mic is like giving us some feedback. Do you guys hear it? Was it yours, Hannah? I don't know.
No, I hear it. I wonder, is it?
It was Hannah.
It's me.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna drop down and come back in.
Okay, drop down and come back in.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm actually with Faith. I don't like that at all. I think that it's happening so that the oldest one can watch those little kids.
Simply Beautiful, was that you?
Yeah.
Someone's mic like really giving us problems. Do you guys hear when I'm talking? No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
I hear a little. Let me just try. Can you? Is it doing it while I'm talking as well?
No.
I hear a little bit crackling.
Yeah, just a little.
Okay, I don't know why.
Here, I'll drop also and come back up, okay?
Okay.
So I also think that I feel like Mel is still protecting everyone. I feel like there's much more that she can say. Especially, there is something that's not being said that I think Mel knows that she hasn't said about Destiny that probably could destroy her a little bit more. And I feel like it has to do with Martell. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think she's just like, I'm not saying anything else. But I think that she's still protecting things that she knows about everyone, because she's just like, I don't want to put that out there because I don't want anything bad coming back on me. But if they force me, I will. Because I remember when she was going back and forth with Martell, when she was like, when he didn't want her to have the kids around her brother and his husband, and she just started letting a little bit of stuff out at that time. But there is something other than to me, Destiny going back to tell Martell with what she said, there is something else that she probably could say about Destiny, and she just hasn't, because it didn't seem like their relationship started to fail until she stepped back. I remember when she was on the couch with Destiny, if you remember, when Destiny didn't tell her about the divorce, and the way Mel was kind of like, like, what I've done, I've stopped talking to, I was team you with your ex, and you didn't even dignify me as a friend to tell me what you were going through. You didn't allow me to be there. And I don't know, but like in my own personal relationships, when you're there for someone so much and then there's something that happens in their life that you expect them to share with you and they don't, it starts to make you question, do they really see me as a friend? And I think she started thinking about, I don't think she sees me as a friend, regardless to how much I've been there for her.
She actually said that. If you guys go back and watch the episode money to make, not friends to fake.
Mm-hmm.
When they're sitting at that table, I had to watch that again the other day, honestly, because I was like, whew, with all the stuff that is going on, I had to go back and, pay attention to how she was saying about the text messages. Someone had sent me some information that I was like trying to check out. But remember, she starts off, she was like, when you sat on that stage and told everyone that I hadn't talked to you, I let you lie on me. And I usually don't do that, but I didn't want to, basically bust your bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And that night, or the night before she came on that stage, she would have heard Destiny and Tisha talking about her, because that's when they were in, the reunion. She didn't bring that up there, but the night before they came on that reunion stage, that would have been the night she overheard Tisha and Destiny talking to her. Then she sees Tisha and Destiny on stage being buddies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then Destiny makes the comment, I don't know, Mel, are we friends? Are we friends? You haven't talked to me. Well, when Mel pulls out her text messages and she's like, I sent you a text on this day. Hey, Destiny, what's going on? Destiny does not respond. Send her another text. Hey, just making sure you're good. No response. Send her another text and she wants to take a picture of her feet and say chillaxing. That's when everybody was like, whoa. And she was like, I don't even say chillaxing. She went, well, you did. She shows her the thread. She went, you think I made up a thread? She said, no. And then
But
he goes silent.
do you think that, because I was thinking about that when she said, I don't talk like that, do you think that Martell was with Destiny and Martell answered and said chillaxing?
So I don't know. I can't say that for sure, but I do feel somebody was there in
Mm-hmm.
that text, because she didn't even know.
Exactly.
She said it, and when she turned her frown, and she was like, "Girl, are you saying I faked a thread?"
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "No." And then she stops, and I went, "Oh my God!" She doesn't
Yeah.
even, and she does that so much, where she gets all emotional about some stuff that she actually did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, Destiny, if you could just take 5 minutes to process before you start barking at people.
But maybe she didn't. Maybe she didn't answer that text. Maybe someone else had her phone and was like, I'm going to answer her. And maybe it was Martell. That's what
That's
I was thinking.
that's what everyone's saying, because that's when really all the rumors started about Martell. When she said chillaxing, everyone was like, who does say chillaxing?
Yep.
And they everybody kept saying it. And I was like, holy crap. But you're taking a picture of your feet, of all things. Melody says, after you have the vacation, she's like, I sent you more texts. You were ignoring me. But that's after you had your newfound friendship with old girl. And she was like, well, why didn't you tell me it was a problem? She said, I shouldn't have had to. You know what our friendship was. And she was like, well, I feel you should have. And why didn't you tell me Martell was a problem? And that's when she was like, I'm done. I'm not going to humor you with this mess. But
Yeah.
Destiny's something else. And all of that, because she wants to put everything on the business relationship, totally ignoring the fact that you were ignoring your friend, the one who had put money in your pocket when you needed it.
And you were on social media just going in. That's why that lady said, no, I'm not going to do business with somebody that could do that to you after what I know you've done for her.
Exactly. You guys hit
and
that.
Did y'all see? I'm sorry. And did y'all see how she kept asking Mel, so you could be in the room with me and not have a problem being in the room with me? And she kept repeating that question. Mel kept telling her, yes, I can be cordial. I can say hi. I can be in your presence and not have a problem. But that lets you know that it's something more with Destiny. Why she, needs to know why Mel can be in her presence and not have a problem.
Right. Hold on one second, guys, because I don't know where the feedback is coming from. Let me try to do something else, okay? One moment. Okay. Does it sound better?
Yeah.
I think it does. I don't hear anything anymore.
Okay. I don't know if maybe I had something open that's causing all of this craziness. Okay. All right, back on. Let's see if we can get this conversation going. But yes, I honestly thought that I honestly thought old girl did something. I still hear it a little bit with somebody. Now I don't know if it's with me. Queen Sheba said probably because she allegedly had something with Martell. So she is shook that Melody can't stand the sight of her. She shook. Melody can't stand the sight of her. Something was going on. Listen, if you sit up there and try to debate somebody about whether or not they're chillaxing, of all the things in the world, like you're a liar because I never talk like that. I've never said that word in my life. Those were her exact words. Okay, girl, I'm gonna let you have it because you're telling on yourself. You're telling on yourself.
I agree. Even when she put up her own text thread, if you remember, her first text said, "I know you like to take a break after filming." Well, if you know that, then why are you bothering her?
Right. She did. She said that too. And from her going there to what happened on screen to right now, all the way up until this very moment, because she's going to have another conversation tonight with Demi, her cousin,
Mm-hmm.
Melody. And even the way Demi reacts to her when she's talking about it, it's like, where is this anger coming from? It's no one knows what this is. What are you carrying that is so deep for you? And it can't be the business mess because you know what you did? You opened the business again and you had an opportunity to do what you wanted to do and you still couldn't do it. You were never passionate about that business. That business was open because you were trying to have some revenge thing with another beauty supply store. You didn't have any of your ducks in a row. You didn't know exactly what you were doing and how to get it done. And it's unfortunate because I'm sure you put a lot of money into it. She's still in court right now with the landlords because she had to break her lease. She was in court on the 17th. When was that? Thursday? Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Oh wow. So
So
are they trying to evict her?
um, I'm being told that if you guys aren't talking, to mute your mic because that'll help with some of the feedback. But yeah, so I'm guessing that Destiny had to break her lease because she couldn't pay the rent. That's what it looks like. So because she couldn't pay the rent, and we don't know if she was months behind or whatever the case may be, you got to pay out the lease no matter what. So they have, and I don't know exactly how much she had because remember, she's supposed to be the beauty store, and then there were supposed to be several other suites that she was supposed to own. Um, and she told us she bought the building. She never bought the building. She was leasing it. So just all stuff.
So where's all her friends? All these people she riding so hard for.
Ooh.
Come on, and
Well,
one of them say they got 17 million.
the one that told her she had 17 million said, I think it's a bad idea for you to do any more business out the store. Remember that? So
Wow.
she couldn't pay for it.
What about Miss Wanda? She riding hard for showing up potatoes. I mean, come on.
Miss Wanda said that she in a hole from that food truck. She was like, every time I give them 5,000, they need 2,000. When I give them 2,000, they need 4,000. I was like, you could have bought a whole new truck.
But
So
the other friend got all these degrees, and she's the head honcho of the company. What about her?
no, her advice to her was, don't put any more money into the store. That was her advice.
Mm.
She
So
about to go back to being a housewife. Her husband about to put her back inside. Mel gone now.
yeah,
Yeah.
She about to go back to being a housewife. And if you pay attention to her language when she's on the show, she's speaking, I want to be part-time. I want to be at home more, like all of that stuff. He's already gaslighted her. She's going back inside. She won't be in a business too long.
That means the
You know, I think
storyline is
Diana,
over.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Simply
I,
Beautiful.
I was going to say, I think, Diana, the thing about it is that all of these people have a lot to learn from Melody when it comes to business,
Mhm.
when it comes to promoting. I mean, she's like miles ahead of them when it comes to, I mean, even with her fashion line that she just released with Jay Bolin, you know, look at how this thing turned out with Sheree last season with her saying that she's a designer. She still has the word designer on her IG page when you didn't really just put a logo on some items, which she admitted to later. But as far as the pieces that was in the last the finale of RHOA, to my understanding from what I read, she never got those pieces because she didn't pay the designer who did it 2 weeks prior to the finale.
Right.
So that's why you don't see any of those pieces on her website.
Right.
So she had to struggle with how to come up with putting something on this website, put a logo on it. And even Drew Sidora released information on Dish Nation, which stated that when Sheree came out at the end of the finale with this rack full of She by Sheree items, she said she took all those items back with her, and none of them got any of that She by Sheree.
Oh,
So yes, that Drew Sidora said that on Dish Nation when she was co-hosting. So it's like, and I think this is what the fans have been complaining about, the fakeness. And even you said, Diana, that last week was more real. And this is what the fans have been wanting to see, more real stories, like the story with Kimmy, and, that it was more real, even with Tisha with her daughters, but at least it was something about your personal storylines that was actually going on in your life, instead of you trying to fake being a boss. But
right.
I think when it comes to Melody, Melody is just showing everybody how to do this. She got with an actual fashion designer. Jay Boland is magnificent, by the way. And they got together, according to both of them, and put together these pieces that she felt was along the lines of her brand, and aligned with what it is that she felt that was fashionable, and that said, okay, Melody, boss chick, right? So that's what that fashion line said to me. Even with the reunion look, we all noticed how Melody was more like a, looking like a warrior or a queen, or so it was like along those lines. But I think, when Coleslaw tries to put up some type of outfit that was horrendous, in my opinion, last week, and then a few days ago, and then even Sheree trying to come out with the line that she was busted with, getting that from a third party and what have you. Melody is really showing people how to do this, how to promote it on the show, how to utilize your platform actually, and to make your dreams come true in so many different ways. Because I see the fashion line, the skincare line, um, the home decor that she just came out with, all of that, I see it being aligned together with her brand. And I
Right.
think that that's what the cast is missing. They don't know how to brand themselves.
Yeah, what the cast is missing is the fact that they are so jealous. They're
Yes,
jealous that they're not able to move. They're paralyzed by it. So there's a couple of things that you have to be able to do. Number one is, if they were making fun of her all those many years before she blew up, when she was, trying to get things together, she was putting everything that she needed to do in order. And then, like I said, she knew how to strike when the time came. Um, no one else has been able to do that as successfully as she has. And then the ones who, had a little bit of money or thought they had the money, when they lost it all, they haven't figured out how to get back on the train. So it's a whole lot of stuff um, that's there.
I
They just
agree.
have,
And I think Diana too, they have not learned how to pivot from the real estate, the original line of the comeback group, of showing them in real estate and building properties and what have you. Melody has expanded from that particular part of her life with the property preservation and everything, and she's gone into production going into her music. She's really making all of her dreams come true and utilizing this platform in order to do it. And she's real. And I think that is what makes her relatable, and that is what makes her successful and her fans support her. It's because we can see the authenticity in everything that she's doing.
We can. So my hope is, and I really do, fingers crossed, is that they can bring this right back to where it was, because as everyone has acknowledged, including Melody, the show has lost its way. And again, and if you guys had listened to my interview with her, I actually said, I know I've paid attention to everyone. I remember Melody saying that she needed a break when season 4 came around. She was like, a lot of things was going on. I needed a break. I could not film with Martell. But it looked like everybody else did the same exact thing. And then they turned their story on. They basically all turned on her. That was the worst part about it. So I want to see if they can get it together. I know a lot of people are talking about Kimmy's storyline. I think Kimmy has probably helped hundreds of people just getting them out of the house and getting tested. And I appreciate the fact that she was able to do that, because we don't see ourselves on TV with that type of information in real time. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Real Housewives of Atlanta, we have to see our images on TV talking about things that are important to our community, important to our health. So I appreciate her for doing that.
I agree. And she even said that, she was questioning whether she should even bring that story to light on television. And I'm like, yeah, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the realness in this story. So I agree with you. It's going to be interesting to see how they move forward, especially since the original idea of the show is now, kind of like went in a totally different way. So I totally agree with you.
Right. Now, I heard Stormy on another YouTuber's channel say that she is coming back for the next season. So I hope we get to see more of her story. I know she's supposed to give $50,000 away to someone before Christmas, I believe. She had some sort of I don't know, some sort of a raffle or something. So we have to see what that looks like. But yeah, does anyone else have anything to say about Destiny and Melody's friendship? Because that's another big story that's going down tonight.
Yeah, I did. I was just saying, when I look at this whole situation with Destiny and Melody, I think what happened was that Destiny got in a really bad state of depression when she went through her divorce. And
Mm-hmm.
she also had got into a lot of debt, and she and her husband just was basically like, hey, you on your own. She even said that she took all of her money out of her retirement account. And then she was living in that house and was not able to pay for what her husband was paying the mortgage, but she didn't have any other income coming in. So she was basically probably so much in a state of, I say depression, but whatever she was in, I'm just saying that's what I think. And then she had the baby. So it was limited to what she could do as far as going outside the home and make more money. But she also was relying on people to give her money, and Melody was helping her out at some point. But I think she felt some embarrassment, some shame, and then she felt really, really angry with her ex-husband for putting her in that position that she was in. And then she was just lashing out at everybody, because she was lashing out at Tiffany. She started lashing out at Kimmy, everybody, Tisha, Melody. She wasn't lashing out at any of the men per se, but Melody just had to stand up for herself. And see, when Melody is strong-minded, she'll let you push her to a certain position, to a certain spot, and then that's it. But she really got mad at Melody because Melody cut her off. Melody would not have cut her off. But here's the other thing I think too. I think that when everybody started getting on to Melody, making her their storyline, they thought that Melody was moving in other directions. They thought that Melody was getting ready to leave that show, and that they were going to get a spinoff with the Scotts. And that's why she lashed on to the Scotts, because she said, well, shoot, maybe they got more going on over here than Melody got going on over there. So I'm going to attack her, and I'm going to get, I'm going to see, she burnt the wrong bridge, if you ask me. So all of that together in her manipulation. And I also think that Destiny is a female. I ain't gonna say female. She is a narcissist. People like that, they use people, but they also punish people. When she tried to punish Melody, she couldn't, because she didn't have, if she had a lot of money and Melody needed her, then she would be able to punish her. That's what Martell was trying to do to Melody, but he couldn't because he didn't have the resources. They have to have resources in order to punish you. That's why that's what he does to Curry. He give her a little bit of money, and he always keep her again in that cycle. So with Curry, that's why Martell will forever punish that girl, because she had that baby, and unless she get out like Melody did. But as far as like your question about the friendship, Destiny just burnt the wrong bridge, and I can see at first, if she had just went ahead on and explained to Melody why she was lashing out or what was going on, and wasn't talking bad behind her back, she could have savaged the relationship. But Melody got out because, again, she has this intuition now that if something is wrong, I got to cut it off. No matter what I think or what I feel, my tuition and God's purpose overrides everything. So that's what happened, in my opinion, with that relationship.
Okay.
I think that Destiny, I really think that Destiny is showing her authentic self. I think that she was able to hide it for some time, and it would have come out anyway. I think
But
she has abandonment issues.
before, did you not see hasn't Destiny's personality been very much the same? She's just turned. Okay.
Actually, yeah. So what you see from her is who she is. I remember when she was on a ladies first panel giving her interview, everything was Mel's fault. And one thing that she did say, and when you touched on the last person that talked about when they touched on her being a user, I do think that she's a user, and it's a coping mechanism from her being abandoned at some point. Oh, that's my thought process, because I remember her saying that her ex-husband used to wine and dine her. He used to fly back and forth and fly her back and forth and brought her gifts and all of that other stuff. Once
And
she
what
got
else
to Huntsville,
that show, what else did she say on that panel? Do you remember? She said when she got married, he stopped doing those things.
Right.
And we don't know if that's true or not, but she said you got, in order to
Right.
keep them, you got to keep doing the same thing. And I was like,
Right.
but you were only married for like 2 days. Like, what the hell?
Right. And it
What
was
are you
before
talking
she got
about?
married. It was before she got married. She said also that, and I think, like I said, she only could hold how she was for so long. She saw him as this businessman. He had all of this stuff in line and in order. He was wining and dining her. I think that when she came to Huntsville, he seems like a more practical guy. I don't know the guy, like things, usually military people, certain things are in order, or business people, certain things are in order. And I don't think that he wanted her to open that shop at the time that she opened it. And what happened was she went ahead and opened that shop anyway, and then she had to go on bed rest. And she felt like, well, you were taking care of me before, you're going to take care of me with everything else. And I think that was a bad business move. And she got into it with his mom. And I do understand from the mom's standpoint when she was saying that she wanted to come into their business, and the mom at the time was like, she's not family. Like, they weren't married at the time when that first was being talked about, or so she made it seem like. And that probably was the best thing that happened, because could you imagine if she would have gotten a part of their family business and then all of this happened? She would have made them dissipate that business. Like, I think that she is who she is. The way she reacts is how she reacts. And I'm hoping on tonight's episode, her cousin really tells her, like, no, girl, it's you. Like, it's you.
Because the way they filmed it and cut the scene, she just makes a face like, is there ever a moment when you can just, take some personal responsibility? Even Kim did last week with her, when she was like, Stormy said, does this change your opinion? And she said, nope. And with everything that Kimmy has going on, with all the worry she had in that moment, she just looked at her like, girl, you have to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, figure this out. This can't be everybody else's problem. It can't be. And the one thing that you said that is accurate with Destiny, the same thing that happened with Martell, they're all blaming Melody for their failure in business.
Yep.
So the things that's happening to me in my business life or business right now is because of you. And the other person who said that, and he said it more than once, is the other brother. You remember? He says that all the time. If I don't know how much you guys hear him say that, but
Maurice.
No.
the other
Oh,
brother.
Billy in the
But
basement. Billy in the basement.
Oh, Billy in the
okay.
basement. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll
He's
say
all over the place.
Melody ruined Martell. And I'm like, did Melody ruin Martell? You know, all Martell ever had to say in a way that was sincere to television, because he's on TV. He brought that story to TV. It was his choice to bring it to TV. He had a conversation with a woman that he was legally married to bring that story to TV. They agreed. Therefore, when he said that and made it a storyline, that he needed to figure out what to say in order to help this go, move forward. In my opinion, when Mel came back in was that season 3, and said that the two of them were going to counseling, we're going to go to counseling together for the kids, learn to co-parent better. And she sat there and said, and started crying in that seat. I was heartbroken when he lost everything. I got in the closet and cried. You know what I'm saying? I was like, she couldn't have opened up a bigger door for you than to just say, you know what? I made some mistakes, but this is where we are now. We're going to fix it. That's not what he did. He became his real self. He bucked up on her a couple of times that season. At the end of it, he bucks up on her again at the construction site. It was a wild season, and he still didn't know how to say, the person that was in there on that show or in that scene, I don't know him. I don't like him. I don't respect him. I would never do that again. However you want to say. But she opened the door to say, listen, this was someone I shared my life with. I didn't want to see him hurt. I tried to help him as much as I could, but he went a different route. He said, I'm going to take you to court for the kids. That's what he
Because
did.
he knows that's how to get at her. And like you said, how he bucked up on her. They've been married for quite some time. And if he's willing to do that just instantaneously where everyone can see, we don't know what she really endured behind closed doors. I'm not saying that he put his hands on her or anything, but like she said, he has a way of talking to you. And if you remember, Marceau had said that he saw him being way more aggressive with AC. So I feel like I feel like she's still protecting, even though he said Mel didn't protect him. I feel like there's still stuff that she could say that could really ruin him, but she's not doing that because she knows that she has kids with him and it's going to affect them. I feel like she can blow a few people stuff out the water. I remember and I don't know if it was Color Me Pink's interview, but Mel was saying that Wanda, I can't call her Miss because she's just a mess, that she thought that she brought Kiki on there to destroy their family. Now, this is still my thing that I'm researching. Like, only thing I personally could think of that could destroy their family is a family secret that involves a son-in-law. Is the rumor that came out way before where they were saying that he had a kid with somebody in their family, and maybe the kid doesn't know that he's really their dad. That's the only thing I could think of. Because what else could destroy? What else could the son-in-law? Yeah, it's not her daughter that Kiki's saying something about to destroy the family. It's the daughter's husband. So it's weird. I don't know. It's weird. But I'm still doing my detective work on it.
I was like, well, we know the secret is out with Melody Martell, whatever that is, it's out. And, it is what it is. But in regards to Tisha and Marceau, not that even anyone's even looking for a secret. You know what I'm saying? Like, we weren't looking for a secret, but you guys brought more attention to it by acting a fool, a plum fool, as my grandma used to say.
Exactly.
Y'all literally was on just talking about this woman every chance you got, and nothing has been made. Nothing.
Right.
So it's wild. But yeah, you guys, I'm trying to look at these comments over here. Some people are saying that LeBaron paid for the mortgage for 1 year. That was what he was supposed to do. He did that. But when he was trying to go, did he not pull the rug all the way from under Destiny? That was another person. Like Destiny,
Yeah.
hey, I'm a solid person. I'm a loyal person. She loves to tell you all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But for that man to have done it is wild to me.
You know, something that has always pegged, like I didn't get, even in that interview with the old lady's first panel, she said that LeBerick has a lot of the same qualities of Martell.
Bartell.
My thing is, if that
Yes.
is true, wouldn't you be moving away from a guy like Martell instead of gravitating
Mhm.
more towards him?
But she said that, and then when the girls were trying to get her to, like, when I think it was Bondi, she was like, so don't you see, like, isn't that a problem for you to
Mhm.
keep your loyalty when you're, be more aligned with this person? She immediately switched it up, like, well,
Mhm.
she tried to backtrack it. And even when the interview was all over, she backtracked it. She was like,
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to bash him. It was both of us. It was like, girl, you are talking to a bunch of women. You're a woman talking to a bunch of women, and you just said
Right.
that he tried to. Well, this is what you said again. Destiny, she'll say something with a lot of emotion, and it makes you want to believe her, and then someone will come back and be like, "Let me tell you where she was wrong," and you're like, "Well, damn." Like you don't want to get too invested in some of the things she says because it's usually not what she says. She
Exactly.
story, but when she's at the time. I was like, wow, my heart is broken to think, she gives you this whole dramatic. I had 5 miscarriages. This was the one that, I was able to carry. I heard God say, this one's strong. This one will stick, or what, however she put it. And I was like, you drew us into the story to at the end of it, say, don't bash him. Don't bash him.
Yeah.
I was as much of a problem as he was. And I was like, oh, who are you?
But
What are you?
she was bashing her husband, her ex-husband, as afterwards as much as she could, and that man did an about face too quickly. I don't think that she's not at fault. I feel like either she was talking to somebody, he found something out. He did an about face fast. Like
Well,
there's something that happened that she ain't tell.
at the end, she says, we didn't have, there were no physical affairs, but she alluded to an emotional affair and
Mm-hmm.
made it seem like it was her. And she was like, at
Yeah.
the end, what I did was I emasculated him. That's how she put it.
Mm-hmm.
I think she also she kept that divorce away from Mel and everyone else for so long because whatever led up to that, she did
Mm-hmm.
not want them to be privy to that information. So it's
Exactly.
like she held
That,
on to this information and then just dropped it later on. But the events that led up to it, now I don't even have to explain that because now you're too focused on the actual divorce.
a couple of episodes ago, Melody said to Martell, I'm beginning to think she just lies. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's what I was gonna say. I think that Destiny is a pathological liar, and it was too late. And they had already gotten married, and then that's when her husband found out how big of a pathological liar she really is, because people with that lies in that form of a pathological liar, they cannot help it. They do it for no reason. It's crazy.
She said, I believe that Destiny just lies. The last episode was called Preaching to the Liar. And then which was wild because I'm like, oh my God, that is
Yeah, it
I
was.
was
It
like, that was
was.
shade.
It was.
so she did
It
all of that.
was.
At the end of the day, everybody who connects to Destiny connects to her because she gives you this emotional story. And
Mm-hmm.
even when Mel said, when you told me what he did to you, he was deleted from my phone, he was deleted off my social media. I don't even want to
Mm-hmm.
know his side of the story because why lie about something like that? But
Mm-hmm.
the truth of the matter is, we've seen her get herself like ramped up in these emotional fits, and there's always something that's missing. Like, oh, literally, if you would have did this, none of this would have happened. So what are
That's
you
how she
talking?
did with Stormy. She didn't remember with Stormy. She at first tried to spin the narrative that, well, I'm the only black owned hair place that you're not giving your products to. And I was like, now she's trying to make it seem like Stormy, a black owned business, doesn't want to do business with a black owned business. And even when Stormy was telling her the reason why, she didn't really seem like she was buying it. But I was laughing because when she gave them all those products, I said maybe she's gonna ask them all for their products in their bag and put it on her show.
But the thing is, there wasn't even anyone in that store to buy Stormy's products, so I wouldn't waste my products either. But
Yeah.
anyway, I
Yeah.
just see too that this guy that she is now saying she's in a relationship with, okay, he is supposedly living out into another state. So I'm like saying to myself, well, how convenient. Another storyline that you can use, but you can be vague with it and just show him on FaceTime, right? Uh, and share
Yeah.
what you want to share with people. So it's like she keeps everybody in this mysterious,
Yeah.
lifestyle of hers, yet she blames everybody for making up a story about her. So I'm like,
Right.
what if you want to clear up something, then clear it up and quit being vague and sharing just little bits and pieces and like you said, lying about stuff, and then you accuse people of making up and putting all this stuff together.
She brought on a whole
Yeah.
life coach to say something
Yeah.
horrible. My son got an injury. It was horrible. I wasn't aware of it until he came home. Now you're leaving all of this open to say, well,
Yeah.
where did he have the injury? Who did it to him? And what are you fighting in court? Like all of these things. And she never just says, this is the real. This is what happens. So right now, it exhausts me to even watch. I could see why Melody
Yeah.
would end that friendship in a heartbeat. At the end of the day, girl, I got
Too
to do my own
much.
healing. I don't have time to pull things out of you. Even when Mel and Kimmy had that little meeting where Kimmy was like, "You don't miss her. You don't want her back." She was like, "Listen, Destiny. Half the time she don't even want you to know what's going on." And Kimmy went, "You got that right." At the end of the day, it's draining
It
to
is.
coddle someone and pull everything out of them. I'm gonna respect that you need space, and when you're ready to come to me, you come to me.
And I think she may have had fun times with Melody when they were friends.
Mhm.
But one thing about Melody is a Scorpio, and Scorpios have keen vision. And they'll begin to start seeing some things through you. It's like when they look at you, it's like they're looking right through you, right? So it's like, I think Melody began to start seeing some things that were dishonest and untrustworthy. And Melody is like, I don't want that in my current energy.
Mhm.
So I need to just distance myself away from that. It's like, girl, you can it's like Destiny. Everybody's like it says blaming Melody for interfering in their life, in their business. Even Letitia, oh, you're to blame, you're trying to make my marriage fall apart. And so everybody's trying to blame Melanie and point the finger at her, playing the blame game. Um, Instead of taking full responsibility for what it is that you're doing for the demise of your situation. So I just think that the Destiny part, I don't even know if does anybody know if she's supposed to be coming back next season?
I hope not. Unless, I mean, for what? For
She-
what?
So
For what?
this is what we know. What was actually said was meetings were being had on which direction it was supposed to go. And then on Color Me Pink's channel, I heard her say things are definitely, there's a cast shakeup. Things are definitely being reorganized with the cast. So
Good.
I'm not so sure, to be honest, because when I go to like the own Keep It Real page and all the pages that's run by the network for social media, Destiny gets the most heat out of any of them. And it's not love to hate her heat. It's I hate her heat. I can't stand this person. I'm tired of Destiny. That she gets the
She's getting paid not to do a job, and we
yeah.
want, like, honestly, I don't really care that much for Tiffany and Lewis, but I'm gonna say that if they were to come back, to me, their storyline could be. I did like when they were looking for her dad. I was getting invested in that because I like the investigative part. I wish they would have kept that, but also her business helps women businesses, and Lou has a business that helps kids in the midst of them doing their thing with it, trying to have a baby, which that's a whole nother story. But even if they opened up that can of worms for them to stay, they give more than Destiny gives.
They do.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Destiny was
pregnant, so if she does stay on the show, it'll at least give us that part of the storyline. And I agree. At least Tiffany and Luke try to bring something of their life to the show.
Yeah.
People like it, but at least they bring about themselves to the show.
And Destiny's storyline was so fraudulent because if you think about it, all the while she was over here suffering, struggling, trying to pay bills. She over here then talking about she paying for honeymoons for Kimmy and Maurice and going into the studio making songs. And then you got people
and not paying employees.
Right. It was so fraudulent.
And the other thing, you guys saw that Melody made that little video, right? Where she was the Destiny song. That was the other thing. Like when I was like, to have someone in your corner like that, just like when Marcel wanted Mel to be the brand ambassador so he can get his wine game up. But I was like, just having her say, hey, I enjoy this wine. Like I'm sure Martell probably watched a bottle of wine hoping that she'd say something, and she told him to kick rocks. Everybody her because they have, they're not fan favorites.
I think that Melody,
I found it interesting with Marceau because remember, he was the one that was on Facebook talking about what is her brand under one of her pictures. And then the following season, you come back asking her to be a brand ambassador for your champagne.
For facts.
It's all about money.
I favor Mel. Like even just thinking that she might do it excited him. He does that a lot. So, but yeah, and there's a scene where we see Martell walk that wine over to the house. right back to the car. Damn wine.
I'm waiting.
And I think too, Diana, I was thinking about something that Carlos said. And he said that he could not wait to get Cherie over in Huntsville, honey, next season. So I'm looking at Destiny at this upscale event, all up under Cherie. And I'm thinking, okay, well, now you think that's how the plan for next season. So now you're all up under Cherie, thinking that that's going to, give you a little bit of leeway so you can be back next season as well. So I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe that's what she's thinking.
She is, and she did Melody. She did Martell the same way. And whoever she thinks she can use the most, that's who she's going with. That's how she moved, and that's people have caught on to her. And the other thing, I'm gonna say one more thing about Marceau. When the way him and Tisha got on to their live and called this woman all kinds of liars, tried to scandalize her name when they had Alonda on there saying Melody was trying to destroy their marriage, and Melody was going to the bloggers and putting out false information on them. And then you're going to come to me and ask me for a favor? Oh, no, I don't trust you. Move out of here.
I still think Alonda is the other woman.
And so do I. So do I.
I still think that it's her.
And
so
is
do I.
Thing that this woman who doesn't want to be talked about or brought up, isn't it interesting that Martell brought her up in those comments over the summer? I remember he put her in that little chat, and I was like, and they're all trying to give the same story. Melody has been very honest. We haven't seen anyone outside of that cast try to come for Melody in any capacity at all. But it's just interesting that these people are just so hell-bent on trying to bring her down a peg or two, and it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. They are destroying themselves in the process. So,
and they're paying attention because Maurice. Remember, like Maurice wasn't. First of all, I feel like he doesn't really care for Mel that much either, unless it benefits him. But recently, if you were looking at one of her lives, and somebody told her that instead of doing like the skincare and the fashion, she should be the first Black woman builder there because of her skill set. Soon as that comment came up, Maurice was on that comment. And he was like, maybe she just wants to pursue her passions, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, dude, why are you worrying about what she want to do? And she might still have her hand in real estate that way, but she's just not showing all of her hands. You know, while y'all were distracted with focusing on her, she was focusing on making sure all of her ducks were in a row for everything that she's going to drop. But they be looking, they still be looking when they really should be focusing on their own stuff, but they're still trying to see what money making Mel is doing. She making money. That's what she doing. She making
She
money.
definitely is. Me and Mel are the same age, and half the time I'm looking at myself like I'm not doing enough. What's going on?
No, they.
Did she drop
I
down?
don't know.
I think she froze, so maybe she's trying to she dropped and she's gonna come back in, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, while you were talking, I noticed her screen froze.
Yeah.
I think she'll come back in. I'm trying to see, is the YouTube still going?
I think so.
I see the live still ticking down.
Yeah. Oh, keep going, ladies. You got this.
Oh. Okay, well, since she said keep going, I don't know, maybe I missed something, but if you guys saw the Color Me Pink's interview, what's going on with Mel's sister? Because she asked her something about her sister, and Mel said, I don't speak on her. Is there some bad going on?
Maybe that's out of respect.
Okay, because I was wondering why she brought that up. I didn't know that there was any issues.
I thought it was out of respect. Like, you know, maybe they aren't as close as her and Marcus are.
Okay.
So, you know, to keep whatever she got going on private, she doesn't speak on her.
Oh, okay. That's maybe what it was. Because I was like, I don't remember them saying anything about her sister before.
Yeah, and I know that I know a lot of arguments. I've seen several interviewers ask Mel, you know, why they can't bring some of her actual friends onto the show. And I know Mel's response was that, you know, a lot of people don't want to be in front of the camera. So
okay.
When she was doing all those interviews, I did ask one of the bloggers to ask about her father, but they didn't get a chance to ask about him. So that would be interesting because she doesn't talk about them, and she may have probably given the same answer. I don't speak on him the way she did with the sister, but you know, the sister was on the show one time though.
Okay, the way she asked it, I thought something happened that was bad or something that made her ask about her, but maybe she was asking about her coming to the show or something.
I think that
was bad or something that made her ask about her, but maybe she was asking about her coming to the show or something.
Yeah.
Made her ask about her, but maybe she was asking about her coming to the show or something.
But the way that they have been trying to you know, do Miss Vanessa, then I can see why some family members may be like, look, I don't want to be a part of anything like that. You know, the way that they're trying to do Miss Vanessa on the show and portray her and bring the other brother on and all of that. And I think Miss Vanessa's doing a remarkable job still being the classy queen that she is, and still making her millions and selling property. But I do recall Mel saying that there were some people that would rather not be.
That would be nice to see her and Miss Vanessa on doing property together. That would be nice to see her and Miss Vanessa on doing property together.
I totally agree. I would love to see that.
That would be nice to see her and Miss Vanessa on doing property together.
I totally agree. I would love to see that.
That would be nice to see her and Miss Vanessa on.
We have to end it.